this stress drink that you're supposed to drink when you're stressed out to calm your nerves. It wasn't alcohol, so don't think that. But yeah, so I bought a couple of those. They didn't work, but I mean, the thought was there.
Got it. All right. Can you drop the link in the chat for your stress drink? Put it in the WhatsApp.
Okay, I have to go look at the fridge, but I'll do that later.
All right. Okay, cool. All right, so let's get rolling. I don't think it was brain fuel. By the way, you guys, I drank a little too much of my brain fuel this morning. I am actually a little jittery. It's supposed to not do that, but still get some. Okay. Key staff, welcome to week 4. This is one of my favorite lessons. You guys can see. Welcome to Zoom. Can you see this, key staff? Looking for some thumbs ups. Hold up, you guys. I can't hear. Can someone unmute and say something if I can hear you?
What's up, Alex?
All right, sick. You can hear me?
Yeah, we can.
I got this extension on my computer. It amplifies my sound. It makes my computer turn into like a 3D surround sound thing, except it totally messes up my sound on Zoom. Okay. All right, key staff, here we go. Recap of last week. We just had a couple shares. Does everyone has a notebook to take some notes for today? Everyone has your key staff notebook. I see head nods around. That's good. Shawnee, you got your key staff notebook? Let's see it. Nice. Hey, Sean, also shout out Sean McRobbie. Bought a journal yesterday. Sean's going to start journaling. I love it. Okay. Just a really quick key staff standards. Number 1, sales leadership, right? We expect the key staff to lead the way each week. If you still have classes, that could mean at least 1 order, just so that you have your momentum. If you're out of class, K Club, and that should only be for you guys 3 sales, which is 5 demos a week that you complete. So just to be safe, if you book 7 or 8 appointments a week, you guys will all hit K Club with where you guys are at skill wise. Attendance, number 2, Minneapolis, we have the best team meetings right in the world. That's because you guys are there. It would not be as fun if it was just me hanging out on Zoom by myself, believe it or not. So attendance obviously is key. Everyone is here today, and anyone who wasn't here, let me know ahead of time, which I really appreciate. Those who might have slept a little long last week were definitely early today, I noticed, which is awesome. And then number 3 being the example. Minneapolis, like I say every week, we have the chance to be the North Star of North Star. And I don't take that lightly. I remember when I wasn't Minneapolis, I was looked up to anyone. Champs Club, when all the Minneapolis people show up on Monday for key staff, like that sets the tone for everybody else. So continue to be the example. That's the standards of key staff. All right, someone give me a hand raise or an unmute if you want to read the screen. We're gonna have 3 reads. So who feels confident in their reading ability? Elliot, I see you smirking. You want to guest star? Give a read here.
Yeah, I'd absolutely love to. Get back over here to Zoom. The key is not to prioritize your schedule. The key is to schedule your priorities. Guess you shouldn't have had me read it. I messed it up.
That's all right. Hey, does anyone here know who Stephen Covey is? Can I get like a head nod? Stephen Covey wrote The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. 26 million copies have been bought of that book. 26 million. It's the number 5 best self-help book of all time. Best self, John. Okay, second one. I'll read this one. A goal without a plan is only a dream. Brian Tracy, he wrote the book Eat That Frog. It's been translated into 42 languages. It's considered one of the best time management books of all time. And to combine them both, who wants to read this one?
So when
I just got kicked out of breakout room.
I don't know what's happening right now. Hi everyone. Somebody else can work with the breakouts. I don't know why there's a time limit on it, but I'm teaching some stuff right now. So there we go. Looks like we're going.
All right, people. Anyway, a plan is what? A schedule is when it takes both a plan and a schedule to get things done. So today we're going to go over, it's from this book right here. I didn't invent any of these things, just so you guys know. It's from a book called The Ultimate Sales Machine. And actually, look at this. One of the forewords is written by Brian Tracy, the Eat That Frog guy. And so if that doesn't make this book credible, I don't know what would. The chapter is called Time Management Secrets of Billionaires. So who gets fired up when you hear that? Who here wants to be a billionaire? I see no head nods. Bar two? Yeah. Bruno Mars does. I'll tell you guys that. Come on. Okay. Anyway, all right, here we go. So jot this down. There's 6 steps. Every single morning, there's 6 steps that take 5 minutes to complete. And it's really, really, really simple. All right. 6 steps, 5 minutes to complete. Danielle, how many minutes does it take to complete this? It takes 5 minutes. Xana, how many steps are there? Yeah, 6 of them. All right. So 6 steps, 5 minutes to complete. There is one pre-step though. So one little precursor. Before you start, you have to, I'm gonna use the whiteboard here. I know you always find a way to write on the whiteboard. None of that today. So here, just a little pre-work every single, and for me, you guys, I do this in the nighttime. So I do this the night before. You could do this in the morning. I like to do it the night before just so I don't have to think about it in the morning. But the one thing to do before you actually do the 6 steps is list out every single area, list every single area of your life that's on your plate. So as I go through this, you guys will recognize right away, there is no such thing in life as balance. I don't know, Elliot, I know you read the one thing I'm listening to it right now. I'm going to get these numbers wrong, so don't quote me 100% on these, but the term work-life balance, who here has heard that before? Work-life balance. And then it was like, okay, this is like me totally just guessing. It was something like in the 1980s, that term was written in articles. It was like around 100 to 200 times in the entire year. In the 2000s, it was like 1900 mentions of work-life balance per week that was written about. So it's a total buzzword that used to not be a thing. Okay. You guys, someone find those numbers and send them in the group chat would be cool. Okay. But the point of this, you want to list every area of your life. So I want this to be actually interactive. This is a quick little exercise. For you, it could be demos, eating. For me, I always start with my core values. So in a couple of weeks, we're going to do a finding your core values exercise. But for me, this is where I like to start. When I'm listing out all the areas, I'll go faith, health, family, eating. Yeah, food is my number 4 priority. Habits. Then I map in fun. Then I do a bunch of different categories with work stuff. That comes out. Notice it comes after all the other ones. So for you, it could be demos, family, friends, significant other. Like, what are the categories in your life? So I'll give you until 9:15. You can always work on this after. So start trying to think of what are all the things on your plate right now. I'm actually not going to talk for the next minute and a half, which you guys know absolutely eats me up. Okay. Oh wait, it's 9:15. Keep going, keep going. Okay. Oh, shopping. Maybe you go shopping every week for groceries like I do. Your weekly grocery run to Walmart or Trader Joe's if you like to eat healthier, like Solomon. Okay. All right. So this is the pre-work. And so every single week, what's really important is taking the time on, I like to do it on Sundays. I know Dane likes to do this on Fridays so that the weekend he can just be off with his family. But taking the time to list out this next week, what are all the categories in my life that I want to achieve in? Okay. That's the pre-work. Step one is to understand the core philosophy of touch it once. So touch it once. I want everyone to understand what this means. For me, the example I like to use for touch it once is text and emails. So what a lot of times can happen is if you're already a to-do list person, and I'm going to talk about lists in a little bit or in a second here. If you're already a to-do list person, what can happen is you can shuffle. Let's say you had a customer. I know something we all have in common. We all sell Cutco. So let's say you had a customer that needs to return their block. Xana, I'm just thinking of your example. And so you know that you have to call Vector Connect Field Service. You have to figure out how they can ship it back. It's just something on your plate that you have to get done. It's not really time sensitive. You just have to do it. One of those type of things. So in the morning, you write it down so you don't forget. Well, first you open the text from Mrs. Jones. She said she had to return it. Then you open it. So you're like, oh, I can't forget this. So you write it down. It's not time sensitive. So next time you make the list, you transport it to a new list. Then you transport it to a new list. All right, today I'm going to do this thing. That will get shuffled around forever until it becomes urgent. And at that point, all you've done is wasted the time and energy moving it from list to list and the headspace of thinking about it, knowing that you have to get it done. Another great example of this is phoning for demos. You could think about it all day, and then it feels like you're working all day, but you haven't accomplished anything. Why do I use that example? Because I used to do that all the time. He's like, oh, I'm working all the time booking demos, but I wouldn't book the demos. I'd just be thinking about booking the demos. It's way different. So for me, it's text messages. You guys notice when you text me, my read receipts are on. The reason I have my read receipts on is because I won't open a text until I can act on that text message that I receive. So if someone asks me, hey, Alex, can you send me the Cutco jokes document? If I'm not on my computer, I'm not going to open the text because I'm not able to send it at that time. So touch it once. It's a philosophy. Let me get some head nods. Does everyone kind of understand touch it once? Like once you want to do something, I see head nods. That's good. This could be your homework. Instead of bouncing your homework from paper to paper, never really doing it. It's like you're not going to actually open it until you're ready to complete it. So that's a core philosophy with schedule discipline. The second step, and this is we'll do a little exercise, is make your master list. So none of this works unless you understand touch it once, which is why I bring that up first. But the second step is make your master list. This is something that you should do every single morning, is when you wake up, get everything out of your head. This is why I acknowledge Sean for buying a journal, because your headspace can be a really dangerous space. I remember it was, I think 3 or 4 weeks ago, I called Dane and I was like, I don't know how to do it. I have all these things to do. And he's like, well, what do you have to do? And I started trying to remember off the top of my head. I'm like, this. And he's like, you got to take the 20 minutes and list off all of those things on a piece of paper and get everything out of your head. So if you have a lot to accomplish throughout the day, make your master list in the morning. This can be right when you hop on Champs at 8, because it doesn't take that much time. I would recommend doing it at 7:45, so that if you're phoning at 8 a.m. for demos, you can just show up and execute. Or you can do it the night before you go to bed. But make your master list. So I'm going to give you guys another 2 minutes. I'm going to give 2 minutes right here. Start to empty your head. What are all the things that you have to do today for it to be a successful day? So for me, I just want to show you an example. Here's my shout out John for getting me on these action here. If you guys want an extra little bonus tip, project action pad from Best Self. These things are awesome. But this is what I do in the morning. Everything I need to do right here is on the left side. And I'll wake up, make my master list. Here's everything I need to do. And then this is the next step, but then you map it into your day on the right. So we'll get to that step. But every single day you'll see on the left is my big list. And then I'm a builder on the CVI. So I love taking a Sharpie and crossing things out. No, not everybody's like that. But making your master list. So I'll give you until 9:22. List off all the things you need to get done today for it to be a successful day for you. How do you spell calculus? Did I have that right? You know what? Let's go like that.
You can just put Calc.
Okay.
Who are you calling out?
Oh yeah. Get that calculus. Oh my God. All right. Okay, now that we have master lists, okay, so that's step 2, create your master list. I like to do it every morning. Again, you can do it the night before if you want, as long as when you start your day, empty your day onto a sheet of paper. Do not let things bounce around in your head all day. That creates a miserable headspace to be in because you feel like you have all these things to get done. You don't even know what you have to get done. It's a dangerous place to be. All right, step 3 is plan out. Whoa, that's big writing. Whoa, I don't know why that's so big. Whatever. You guys can write this down. Step 3 is plan out how long each task takes to complete. So this is now going through. You guys just created your master list for the day, or at least some of it. You could always go through back after and adjust it, whatever you have to do. And so now go through that master list that you just created and put a time slot onto each thing. So for example, I'm going to go through the list that I just made. Number 1, I wrote book 3 demos. Well, I know, and if you don't know, this is a great question to ask your manager in your next PC. I know that for me to book 3 demos, I need to make 30 phone calls. I know that I can make 30 phone calls in an hour if I absolutely tear through the phone. And so for me, I know that if I'm on a mission, booking 3 demos will take 1 hour. Okay, the next thing I put was finish my calc homework. I love numbers, but I'm not good at calc. I'm assuming my homework will take 45 minutes. Just in case it takes longer, I'm going to put an hour. I actually don't have homework. Call my mom, I put on my master list. Mom's a little chatty sometimes. We'll assume that takes 10 minutes at the most. Okay, eat lunch. I eat the same lunch every day. You don't have to. But I know that my blueberry protein pancakes and the dishes takes me 30 minutes to make and eat. Okay, what else did I put? Workout, include the drive time, the time that you're sitting around at the gym on your phone, Snapchatting. Just kidding. Come on, nobody does that. Okay. Workout, study the knife. Let's say you want to study up some knives. You want to do that for, I want to do it for 15 minutes, but I really should do it for 20. Study knives, you guys. That's probably a good thing to do if you want to sell more. Who remembers K-Bar Nick from team meeting? Who wishes they could spew like K-Bar Nick? All you have to do is study. So you study for school. And then the last thing, read 10 pages. I'm so slow at reading, but if I want to read 10 pages, let's assume it takes me 30 minutes. And if I get done faster, that's great. If I have more time, I can read more pages. Okay, so that's step 3, plan it out. How long does each thing take you to complete? Step 4 out of 6. I just want to make sure I get this right. Prioritize your list. Prioritize. I don't know if I spelled that right. Hey, in 6th grade though, you guys, I know I'm not doing great at spelling today. I actually won the spelling bee at Holy Trinity School. So I think it was like 22 competitors, but anyway, prioritize your list. Okay. Now, when I'm going through on the left side right there, for me, my core values, we're going to do a core values exercise in a couple weeks. But for me, it goes faith, health, family. And so when I'm looking at my list, I need to figure out, okay, of all the things I need to get done, what's going to make me feel the most fulfilled at the end of today? And so health, obviously a big one. So for me, I'm going to prioritize working out 1.5 hours. And you actually rearrange eating lunch. That's a priority. Next on my list, we're going to say family is a core value. So calling my mom is going to be a priority for me today. And you want to go in order of what's going to make you, 1, most fulfilled when you go to bed, and 2, what allows you to actually achieve the most throughout the day. Because I know for me, last summer, I didn't read this book yet. And so I would like be working all day. I could have taken 10 minutes to call my mom, right? But I never wrote it down, never prioritized it. So I went to bed feeling miserable because I never got to talk to my family that day. This is why work-life balance, it is never going to be 50-50, and it shouldn't be. It can be 99-1 if that 1% is you fulfilling what you need to, so that you feel fulfilled when you go to bed at night, which for me is the workout, eat lunch, call my mom. I'm probably going to bed fulfilled, even if I work 15 hours that day. Okay. Next, let's say you want to you want to put $500 in your pocket this week. You should probably prioritize booking your demos next. Okay. And then mapping it in. Number 5, after you prioritize, this is why maybe do this in pencil, or you can rewrite your list every time. Probably rewrite it. Step 5 is plan your day. So this is, if I had to make a suggestion, I would say go to Walmart or the dollar store and buy the cheapest daily schedule you can buy if you're a paper person. If you're an electronic technology person, I am infatuated with Google Calendar. You guys would probably cringe if I shared my screen and showed you my Google Calendar, because literally everything I do in the day is on it. You guys would be like, you're a psycho. I don't even care. Like I'm playing poker tomorrow night. It's in the schedule. Literally everything I do is in all my meals. You could do this on technology if you want, or I recommend getting a piece of paper. You want to plan your day, and you want to do it in the order of the priorities that you have. So let's say one of your things on your list was, and it doesn't, let's say it was watch a movie with my significant other. Let's say your boyfriend or your girlfriend or whatever, you want to hang out with them. M is on the screen. Well, let's say that movie takes 2 hours, movie night, and let's say it takes 4 hours, okay, or whatever. Then plan it in and put it in your day. I remember when I first started doing this, one of my college friends, Alex Boron, tore me to shreds for actually mapping out my entire day. Because a disciplined day, start to finish, to someone who's not doing it, looks completely miserable. To you in your head right now, you might be thinking, that looks completely miserable. Why would I map out my entire day? That takes the freedom out of my life, right? Until it becomes a habit, it looks like it could be miserable. I'll tell you, discipline is never fun. Discipline's not that cool. It's really not. But it's the discipline every single day that's going to allow you to do some really, really cool things, especially with a vehicle like selling Cutco, where you literally create your own schedule and create your own destiny. If I didn't map out every single day, I wouldn't have ran a top 10 office last summer, wouldn't have went to all the trips I went on in the last year. Like all of those things wouldn't happen if I wasn't so disciplined every single day. And so discipline doesn't look fun, but you know, it is fun when you look back a year later from a holistic point of view, look at all you've accomplished and also look at all you've fulfilled. Okay, so number 5 is plan your day. So plan it out each morning. Step 6 really would be execute. Basically, all you have to do then is execute your day. You can map in rest time if you want, but executing, become someone who is so good with their word. In the book, The 4 Agreements, I know I gifted it to a bunch of people on here, or a couple people for sure. The first rule of life in the 4 agreements, the first agreement is be impeccable with your word. And so are you actually executing what you say you're going to execute? And the first person that you want to be impeccable with your word with is yourself. What you tell yourself, are you following through on that? I'm not going to check in on your schedule. I don't know what you write down in the morning, but are you fulfilling it for yourself is really, really important. Has anyone here heard how you do one thing is how you do everything? And so if you're writing down a plan for the day and you skip 8 of the 10 things, like mentally you feel that and you'll carry that into everything else you're doing. So step 6 really would be execute. The actual step 6 is figure out would it hurt me to throw this away. I think what's really valuable when you create a list, when you create your master list in step 2, let's say one of the things on your master list is, come on, TikTok. Let's say one of the things on your master list is like, okay, well, I have a 2-hour time spot each day to scroll through TikTok. Not a big deal. Some people love that. Elliot. By the way, Elliot James, guys, he went viral on TikTok this weekend. I have to give him props. 100K views. Yep, give it up. But anyway, let's say that's part of your master plan. You feel good at night when you watch TikTok. Well, this is just an example, by the way. But when you get to step 6, ask yourself, okay, I prioritized. I fit what I could into today. Well, everything that I did not prioritize, would it hurt me to throw that away? Would it hurt me to not do that? There was a study in this book, and I'll wrap up in a minute or two. Thanks for staying on for the extra couple minutes. But there was a quote in this book. It said, have you guys heard of the 80-20 rule? Has anyone here heard of the 80-20? The top, Elliot's heard of it. I think it's Good to Great. Jim Collins, he talks about it, right, Elliot?
Also in the one thing, but you don't actually read it. So
yeah. So Elliot, can you really quick give us the cliff notes? What does the 80-20 rule mean?
well, for like business, it's 80% of your business comes from the top 20%. So it's the idea like the top 20% of the things that you do create 80% of your life in your business. So that's why it's important to prioritize just a couple of things, because if they are your priorities, they're going to lead to 80% of life that you want to live.
Awesome rule. And thanks, Elliot, for being a smart guy being on here. But ask yourself, when you pick your priorities, is the other 80%, is it really worth transporting from list to list to list? Or is it something that you need to either touch it once or throw it out? And that's valuable to ask with a lot of things as you go through your days. So those are the 6 tips. In summary, really quick, number 1, touch it once. Actually, technically number 1, the pre-work, right? Create the areas of your life first. Number 1 though, step 1, touch it once. Step 2, make your list. Step 3, how long does each task take you? Number 4, prioritize your list. Here's just a little bonus tip. I think it was Ben Franklin who said, man, I should get my quotes right. But it was, I think Ben Franklin said something like, choose your top 3 for the day and throw out the rest, because everything else is a distraction. So if you really want to be impeccable and be someone who follows through, when you create your master list, pick your top 3 things that would move the needle for you today. I would say for a lot of people here, it's booking demos at 20, 25, 30, 35% commission. Like that is some dumb money. That is dumb money that you can all be making, that we can all be making selling Cutco. That's not a normal, like that is not a normal thing. I want everyone to like recognize. What's going on? Are we getting closed out of the rooms? No. Okay. And then number 5, plan your day. Number 6, would it hurt me to throw this away for tomorrow? This really, the first couple of times you do this, it'll probably take you 20 minutes because you'll be like, trying to think, I don't really know, right? It may take you 30 minutes, but the more you do this and the more this becomes a routine and a habit of actually mapping out your day. This can take 2 or 3 minutes some mornings to just go through, pick what you're doing, map it in. So there's my tips. Thanks for staying on a little bit of extra time. I know that we're over time, but I just want to show really quick the upcoming lessons. This was daily schedule mastery. Next week, weekly schedule. And so we talked about how you do this every day. Well, next week we'll talk about how do you do this each week and carry it over and over and over. And then we're going to do the core values the week after, talk about some habits, and then we're going to go into a CVI study so you guys can read the minds of, you guys want to be mind readers? Yeah, that's what this CVI is for. Okay, and then upcoming events. We got to make the phone jam more lit. I say this every week, Sunday night phone jam. We got to get more people there. It's the best night to book demos. Joe Sirocco, I'm talking to you. I'm just kidding. Joe, hey, sold to Siggy yesterday, I think. Yeah. Okay, and then weekly team meeting and the staff calls on Tuesday now. Next week, key staff. Thanks for being on, everyone. Crush your Monday, make your list, and then, of course, execute. Appreciate the engagement. We'll see you guys next week.
Thanks, Funk.
Yes, ma'am. My pleasure.
That was awesome.
Thanks.